Alright, guys. Coming back to 7-step strategy for the place close to your house. This is about the place close to your house. Now, when you stand, you should stand in the place where they cannot weed a dollar from you. You're not doing that. You would stand in a place where they cannot weed a dollar from you. If they try to weed a dollar from you, you should make sure that the girl who you're holding, she pays that dollar. Okay. Now, selection of the place to stands become very critical. That's a big part of the research. I draw diagrams and everything on selection of the place. When you go to a place, quickly find out where you have to stand. For example, I went to this new place. I stand at one place. It seemed a bit awkward. I changed it like three or four times where I want to stand. I did not sit down either side. That reduces the fun because you cannot turn the girl around. You can ask her to comply. You cannot ask her to turn around. You cannot push her in. You cannot do things like that. So finding a place to stand is pretty good. Now, how does the 7 steps change when you are handling something close to your place? In the starting, you can lead a little bit, which means that you can lose 5, 10, 20, $30 a little bit in the starting, so that it does not look awkward if it's close to your house. It's far from your house, it's okay. So bleeding, I call giving money to anybody as bleeding. It's like losing your blood away. If I ask you to cut your hand at somewhere and let it bleed, are you going to do that? You say, no, I'm not doing that. So bleeding is important. Never do that. Not bleeding. Never bleed. So the 7th step becomes that you will ask a girl, you will reward, you will give them a dollar. You will make sure that with the security guys you don't create a lot of problem. Again the same thing, asking the girl to comply, to move around, asking her name. She looks nice, this and that, and all those stuff you can do. And those kind of things. Okay. So the 7th step changes in a way where you can approach a girl and tell her that she looks nice. Don't try to escalate. Don't try to get into a position where you make a fight with the girl like I had. Where she said, oh, if you don't buy me a drink, I'm not going to talk with you. And I messed it up in a way. Of course, the right thing is never buy them a drink. So never do anything that's transactional. Sex should be always validation sex. This is what Tomasi talks. So don't take into a situation where it's going to be so tense that you would be in trouble. It's a good idea not to go into that direction. It's a good idea to keep it simple if that place is close to you. It's a good idea to not make the girl jump a lot because the security guards are going to say, hey, you're going to disbalance her. Or like going too strong so that the girl says that, oh, you're going to make me fall. Or things like that. So those are the extreme things that you should not do. Approaching girl with a man, maybe you can wait. This is a risky step, so you can wait for some time. yeah, this one thing that we did not talk about in the 7 steps, I keep on forgetting that. It's stopping a girl front on and stopping like Tusk does, like stopping them, looking in their eyes, having that tension, tiger eyes. So stopping a girl is different from approaching a girl because that's like a moving target. Talking to the bartender, Tom Lycan says always talk to the bartender. It's always a good starting point. They have to talk good with you. It's a good warm up, and the other girl sees that you're having a nice time. You're flirting with the bartender, which means that you know flirting 101. So that's always a good thing to do. And you should always do that. 7 step close to the house are the same, just that you lead a little bit more. You don't pull a girl when she is with somebody, with another customer or another boy that she's talking to, or with most of the time it's the security guards and people. If she's talking to security guard, just go and you can get her. If it's like security guard or most of the time it's like that. So that becomes a good point to handle things from there. Approaching a girl, approaching her when she's somebody, showing your dollar boobs, hanging them out, like they hang their boobs out, and I'm going to talk about the other 7 steps as well. Showing the man boobs is one, spanking, pushing their ass, reaching the vagina and the nipple is one, taking them from the man is one, approaching them is one. When they come to you for $1 and you can turn them around, then it's one. If you can make one sit on your lap, that is kind of in one of them, but yeah, that is also good. But you have to be careful when it is of the place that is close to you. Now, again, bleeding. If it's a place close to you, you can still buy a drink. Otherwise, if you don't buy a drink, they're going to object. So for the first time, don't push it too much. Buy a drink and let it be. If you're going to a place too often, like Club 35 or something, then yeah, go there before 7 p.m. Try to push for no drink or something like that, and do whatever you want. So that is it. Bleeding more, taking less rest, buying a drink, not pushing a girl in terms of physicality too much. The security guard would come and object. Drink slowly so that you don't finish your drink at an awkward time where you should not. And that's it. First time, be careful. Once you know the place, then you can do whatever you want. Like and AJ's, they don't silent doors, they don't bother you for drinks. Just go there, you don't buy a drink, you don't spend even $5. Stand there, it's not a problem. So in AJ's, rather than buying a drink, sometimes what you can do is sit there and give $1 to the girls and make a girl sit with you. I'm not going to force you for a drink. It's too big of a club to bother you for those kind of stuff. So, but in a new place, you're playing the first time, you have to be careful, you have to bleed more. Everything comes out to bleeding. You have to give more money. All the punishment in this world of anything is more to do with bleeding. I'm taking the highway, I can leave the highway and save, I think for $90 for each mile I pay $1. No, for each 10 miles I pay $1. the toll. If I want to reduce the risk, I can bleed less and not pay $1 for 10 miles. Because the insurance that I pay for 10 miles, I think it's again for 100 miles it's like $11. So for 10 miles it's $1. It's the same, the insurance and the thing. So insurance is mandatory, but you can decide we are on this side, because if you take full coverage, then it's twice the price. So rather than you can use the highway to the tolls to avoid any kind of accidents or mishap, and reduce it by 50%. But yeah, everything comes out to money, bleed more. I think that's the essence of going